Pastor Aaron Williams was recently caught in the back seat with a woman in broad daylight. And shockingly, it wasn't the First Lady. Social media has erupted, fans are stunned, and questions are swirling about what really went down. But here's the catch, there's more to the story than what appears on the surface. Stick with me, because by the time this video ends, you'll know the jaw-dropping details they don't want you to find out, and the fallout could shift everything we thought we understood. Welcome back to the channel where we bring you the most controversial, trending, and unbelievable stories from the worlds of faith, celebrity, and viral scandals. Today, we're diving into a situation that has shaken both the Christian community and social media to its core. COGIC Pastor Aaron Williams was spotted in broad daylight in the backseat with a woman. And once again, it wasn't the First Lady. For months, whispers and quiet rumors floated around about Pastor Aaron's private life. But until now, nothing had been proven. Photos and video clips made their way online, leaving followers completely shocked and scrambling to figure out what they were seeing. Reactions ranged from outrage to sheer disbelief, and everyone is demanding answers. In this video, we'll lay out the timeline of events leading up to this explosive encounter, look closely at what actually unfolded, and review the responses pouring in from church members, fans, and social media communities. We'll also dig into the possible consequences for Pastor Aaron, his ministry, and the broader COGIC community. Some of the claims and reactions since the story blew up will leave you stunned. From eyewitness testimonies to insider commentary, we're breaking it down step by step. By the time this video is over, you'll see why this has become one of the most talked about scandals in recent history, and what it might mean for everyone tied to it. So stick around, because this is about to get messy, controversial, and completely unpredictable. To grasp the full picture of the scandal, we need to rewind and look at the chain of events that led up to this shocking revelation. What appears to be a single incident in broad daylight is actually the product of months or maybe even years of rumors, subtle signs, and hidden behind-the-scenes dynamics. It started when Pastor Aaron Williams' followers in the COGIC community began noticing strange shifts in his social media activity. Cryptic messages, odd captions, and unusual behavior during public appearances sparked speculation. While nothing outright incriminating showed up at the time, observant fans began piecing together clues, hinting that something deeper might be going on. Soon, rumors spread regarding the pastor's personal relationships. Insiders began dropping hints of inappropriate behavior or secret affairs. Although these allegations went unconfirmed for months, church members and online followers debated fiercely, some firmly defending him, while others suspected the worst. Fan groups and online forums quickly became hotbeds of theories, with every single post and comment dissected for hidden messages. The tension grew when Pastor Aaron was seen at multiple events alongside different women, sparking curiosity about his private life. While those encounters could have been harmless, the timing and context raised red flags, especially when placed against the backdrop of earlier speculation. This built an atmosphere where fans were already primed for something shocking. Then came the crucial moment. A video surfaced of Pastor Aaron Williams in broad daylight, sitting in the backseat of a car with a woman who clearly wasn't the First Lady. The clip captured exactly the kind of moment fans have been whispering about for months, and it instantly spread like wildfire across social media platforms. The reaction was nothing short of explosive. Thousands of reposts, comments, and shares flooded Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. But here's the key detail: the incident didn't happen in isolation. Eyewitnesses later revealed that interactions leading up to this encounter had hinted at secrecy, tension, and private meetings that had been happening for some time. These moments, overlooked by the public before, suddenly became vital clues once the video appeared. With that footage, months of speculation, subtle hints, and unconfirmed rumors suddenly clicked into place, and fans started connecting the dots. This timeline reveals that what happened wasn't a random scandal at all. It was the peak of an ongoing pattern, filled with subtle clues and long-standing curiosity about Pastor Aaron's personal life. By putting this context together, we can see why the fallout has been so intense and why social media exploded with such force. But here's the cliffhanger that has everyone talking. While the video shows the backseat encounter, questions still linger. What led up to that moment? Who exactly was the woman? And what motives might have been at play? The answers to these questions could completely reshape how this story is understood, and we'll be breaking all of that down in the next section. The moment that set the internet ablaze happened on what seemed to be an ordinary day, but those details quickly turned anything but ordinary. Pastor Aaron Williams was caught in broad daylight, in the backseat of a car with a woman who, again, was not the First Lady. Fans immediately realized how serious the situation was, and the video triggered a firestorm of debate and speculation. Eyewitnesses described a scene that was at once public and private. The car was parked in a spot visible to people passing by, yet the two inside acted either unaware or unconcerned that they were being watched. Several sources confirmed that the woman was someone already known to Pastor Aaron, though her identity has not yet been publicly revealed. What made the situation even more shocking was that it unfolded in broad daylight, leaving almost no room for ambiguity or excuses. Within hours, the footage had gone viral. Viewers replayed the video over and over, analyzing every gesture, every movement, and every subtle interaction between Pastor Aaron and the woman. Some commentators pointed out body language that suggested familiarity and comfort, while others debated whether it was casual or meant to stay hidden. The massive attention this incident attracted shows just how closely people monitor public figures, especially those in positions of spiritual leadership. The online reaction was swift and overwhelming. Twitter threads popped up analyzing the footage frame by frame. Instagram stories circulated snippets and screenshots. TikTok creators quickly posted commentary videos that spread at lightning speed. Fans everywhere speculated on the nature of the relationship, questioning whether it was professional, personal, or something far more. Many also drew comparisons between this encounter and earlier rumors or sightings that hinted at strange behavior, which gave the video even more credibility. But here's where it gets even more intriguing. Reports suggest this was not the first time Pastor Aaron had been spotted in similar circumstances. Insider accounts claim there were earlier meetings and interactions, less visible to the public, yet enough to raise suspicions among those close to the church. Although these earlier incidents were never officially confirmed, they add another layer of context to the viral video, implying that the backseat encounter might be part of a larger pattern. What makes this particular moment so controversial is the stark contrast between Pastor Aaron's public image and what the video reveals. As a well-known figure within COGIC, he represents spiritual authority, moral leadership, and community trust. Any behavior that appears to conflict with that role is guaranteed to spark strong reactions. Fans, church members, and critics alike were quick to weigh in, raising questions about his integrity, his judgment, and his accountability. The timing of the video only deepens the intrigue. This wasn't late at night in some hidden corner. It happened in broad daylight, leaving little chance for the incident to be downplayed or misrepresented. That level of visibility amplified the scrutiny and fueled conversations about transparency, accountability, and the duties of leaders within faith communities. Still, despite all the controversy, questions remain unanswered. Who is the woman in the back seat? Was the meeting innocent and consensual, or does something more lie beneath the surface? What words were exchanged, and what actions took place beyond what the video captured? These lingering questions have left the community split, some demanding explanations, others defending Pastor Aaron, and many simply watching closely as each new detail emerges. The backseat encounter has become more than just a shocking moment. It's a turning point, exposing secrecy, tension, and the challenges of life in the public spotlight. It highlights how fragile trust can be and how rapidly social media can shape public opinion. And here's the cliffhanger, keeping everyone on edge. The fallout from this scandal is still playing out, and whatever Pastor Aaron, the church, and the wider community decide to do next could completely reshape the story. From the second the video of Pastor Aaron Williams hit the internet, social media lit up in a way very few stories managed to. Platforms like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook were instantly flooded with reactions, analysis, and debates. Fans, supporters, and critics all jumped in, making this one of the most talked about events in recent religious and viral media history. The first wave of responses came from longtime church members and loyal followers. Many expressed shock and disbelief, admitting they never thought they'd see Pastor Aaron in such a compromising position. Comments ranged from harsh condemnation to cautious curiosity, with people demanding context, explanations, and accountability. Some fans even posted side-by-side comparisons with older photos and videos, pointing out inconsistencies in his carefully crafted image, which only sparked more heated debate. Soon after, the influencer and reaction community stepped in. Popular YouTubers and TikTok creators began breaking down the footage frame by frame, offering interpretations of gestures, tone, and body language. Instagram stories spread alleged eyewitness accounts, while Twitter threads picked apart every possible detail, and this wasn't just gossip. It quickly evolved into a public discussion about leadership, morality, and the responsibilities of spiritual figures. Of course, memes and humor also played a huge part in fueling the conversation, helping the story spread even faster. Users began reimagining scenes from the Backseat video in creative ways, mixing them with pop culture moments, church-related jokes, or viral remix clips. While funny on the surface, these memes boosted the story's reach and ensured it spread well beyond COGIC members or Pastor Aaron's immediate followers. The blend of serious debate and humor kept the virality alive, sparking an ongoing digital discussion. Some users on social media took things further, adopting an investigative angle. They dug into old rumors, past sightings, and other questionable interactions linked to Pastor Aaron. These detective-style threads often pieced together screenshots, timestamps, and even public records, suggesting that the Backseat incident wasn't isolated. Whether true or just speculation, this type of content only amplified the narrative. It kept the story trending for days. Public responses, however, were far from unanimous. A notable group of viewers came to Pastor Aaron's defense, questioning whether the video was reliable or insisting on privacy and context. Others, though, were harshly critical, pointing out the contradiction between his pastoral image and the private behavior seen in the footage. This divide fueled a heated clash across social platforms, with fans fiercely debating both sides. The viral momentum eventually caught the attention of mainstream media outlets. News stories, op-eds, and digital newsletters picked it up, keeping the spotlight burning even brighter. Interviews with insiders, anonymous sources, and community leaders layered on even more speculation and intrigue, ensuring the scandal stayed alive well past the initial release. Soon, the discussion spread beyond just Pastor Aaron and the Backseat video itself. Many began addressing broader issues: accountability in religious leadership, transparency within church communities, and the power of social media in shaping public opinion. In many ways, this single event sparked a larger cultural conversation around morality, privacy, and digital scrutiny. And here's the cliffhanger that keeps people engaged. While the video captures the encounter, it doesn't tell the whole story. The woman's identity, the true context of their meeting, and what happened before or after remain unclear. Social media speculation hasn't slowed down. Every new comment, meme, or alleged insider detail adds fuel to the fire. This ongoing uncertainty guarantees that attention stays locked in, making the scandal far from finished. The viral nature of this case underscores a key truth. In today's digital age, one video alone can reshape public perception, damage reputations, and spark debates far bigger than the original moment. Pastor Aaron Williams' Backseat scandal is a textbook example of how social media magnifies controversy, turning private actions into worldwide conversations. But the fallout stretches even further. The viral Backseat incident didn't just shock audiences, it sent shockwaves through the church, the wider community, and the digital world. When a figure of spiritual authority gets caught in controversy, the impact goes far beyond personal image. It affects entire congregations, ministry efforts, and the very trust placed in leadership. For Pastor Aaron, the consequences are immediate and complicated. As a public figure within COGIC, he's expected to model moral standards, provide spiritual guidance, and serve as an example for his flock. Yet the video shatters that image, leaving many of his followers questioning his integrity, his judgment, and his choices, even if the encounter itself turned out to be harmless. Perception carries weight, especially in a time when viral clips travel faster than any clarification can. The pressure on Pastor Aaron to respond the right way is enormous. A single misstep, whether it's a defensive statement, a denial without context, or refusing to acknowledge the situation, could intensify the backlash. On the other hand, a measured and transparent response, one that admits the reality, provides context, and commits to accountability, could soften the blow to his reputation. His next moves will ultimately decide whether he retains the trust of his congregation and wider community, or whether he ends up facing ongoing criticism. But this isn't only about Pastor Aaron. As an individual, trust in church leadership and public perception are now at stake. The entire institution faces scrutiny as both members and outsiders look closely at how the church responds to this. Controversy. Questions naturally emerge about accountability, transparency, and ethical oversight within church leadership. The way church authorities handle this moment will reflect on the institution as a whole, with potential consequences for membership, donations, and its public image. For some congregants, faith in leadership may be shaken, opening conversations about standards for pastors and elders. For others, this could be a time to rally behind the church, waiting for explanations or internal resolution. Regardless, the spotlight is now firmly fixed on the church, and social media ensures that both criticism and support are amplified in real time. Beyond the church itself, the story has triggered broader discussions around leadership, morality, and accountability in positions of influence. Observers, commentators, and followers are debating what responsibilities public figures carry, how far privacy should extend, and in what ways both public and private behavior affect trust and credibility. The viral spread of this incident demonstrates how online communities shape narratives. Fans, critics, and influencers all contributing interpretations, speculation and judgment, memes, commentary threads, and reaction videos don't just document what people think. They influence it, creating a cycle that magnifies the fallout. Alongside this, speculation about personal relationships adds another layer. One of the most persistent questions centers on the unidentified woman in the backseat. Her connection to Pastor Aaron, whether personal, professional, or something else, continues to drive gossip, curiosity, and debate. This mystery fuels tension, keeping both the church community and online audiences on edge, waiting for answers. It also raises concerns about how the situation may affect personal and professional relationships. Family members, colleagues, and churchgoers may have differing opinions on issues of accountability, forgiveness, and transparency. Navigating these pressures while under public scrutiny creates more complexity and stress, illustrating how one moment can ripple across multiple spheres of influence. Looking ahead, the long-term consequences will depend heavily on how Pastor Aaron, the church, and the broader community choose to handle this. Several key factors stand out. Transparency. Will Pastor Aaron and church leadership address the issue openly, or will silence allow more speculation? Accountability. Are there systems in place to guarantee ethical leadership and rebuild trust moving forward? Public perception. Social media will continue to magnify every move, statement, or clarification. How the story unfolds will depend largely on timing and strategy. In the end, the Backseat scandal stands as a cautionary reminder for anyone in public leadership. Even moments assumed to be private can spill into the spotlight, becoming controversies with lasting consequences for reputation, credibility, and authority.